Say you want to learn more about Hinduism, taking a university course might first seem like a good idea. But you're wrong. Academic Hinduism is not the best way to learn more about Hinduism. Keep watching to find out more. What is up, guys? Sean here from Hindu Lifestyle, where I do videos about understanding the Hindu experience. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a video about some of the resources that are available to you to learn more about Hinduism. However, a question that remains that hasn't adequately been addressed yet is, where exactly do you go to learn more about Hinduism? If you're living in North America like myself and grew up Hindu, odds are you probably learned a little bit from your parents. Maybe you even went to the temple. You enrolled in some of those classes that you didn't want to go to. You came when you wanted and you didn't really take it seriously. Fast forward a couple of years now, you're now in high school and then into college or university, and you probably felt it was a good idea to take a course on Hinduism, right? Wrong. Little did you know that your desire to learn more about your culture, your religion, about Hinduism was actually leading you down the rabbit hole of what we call academic Hinduism. The term academic Hinduism is used to describe the Hinduism that is found in textbooks in universities and colleges, high schools, elementary schools in Canada and the United States. The reason why the term academic Hinduism is used is because the Hinduism described in these textbooks may seem foreign to the Hinduism that myself or you may be practicing. Let me give you some examples from this book called Invading the Sacred. I first had the chance to read Invading the Sacred back in 2012. It's a critical work published in 2007 which discusses the factual inaccuracies found in Hindu studies in Western academia. Here are some of the things that this book discusses. Pandita Indrani Ramprasad mentions that many inauthentic translations and interpretations by preeminent Western Indologists have been popularized into standard meanings today. She also highlights that in fact practicing Hindus are excluded from the discourse about their own traditions. A large part of this book is actually dedicated to discussing and refuting this character, Wendy Doniger. For those that are not aware of this character, well, great, because you really haven't missed much. However, her influence on academic Hinduism has been the greatest. She is well noted for using Freudian psychoanalysis to look at Hindu practices in an attempt to deconstruct them. Here are some of the examples of things she has said. Holi, the spring carnival, when members of all castes mingle and let down their hair, sprinkling one another with cascades of red powder and liquid symbolic of blood that was probably used in past centuries. If you're like most Hindus that I know, you're probably thinking like, what? Academic Hinduism actually has a real influence on how Hinduism is perceived by new generations of Hindus growing up in North America. Let me give you an example of how this can work. Someone in popular media decides to talk about Hinduism. Could be a news story, a custom, a puja, or a particular festival. These people decide to contact an expert on Hinduism. So who do they turn to? Do you think it's the local pundit at your temple that performs your weekly puja? No! They turn to leading universities and academics. These academics who have a skewed view of Hinduism then go on to get quoted in media, newspapers, which in turn influence the popular narrative about Hindus. This is a vicious cycle that has been perpetuating for quite some time. So let me give you some advice. If you want to learn more about Hinduism, be very wary of learning it from an academic setting. Your best bet is to learn from actual practitioners of the faith, meaning actual Hindus themselves. If you are interested in this topic, please consider reading Invading the Sacred, as well as Academic Hinduphobia by Rajiv Malhotra. I can't cover everything in this 5-minute YouTube video, but scholars much more intelligent than myself have been fighting this battle for years. It's important that Hindus that are not aware of this battle that is ongoing get involved, get educated, and learn what's happening. Learn how Hinduism is being taught in our academic settings, because it is your children that will be going to these schools and that will be taking these courses because they have an interest in learning about Hinduism. It's our duty to make sure they learn from the correct sources. And that's all the time we have for this week. Thank you again for tuning in. Please hit like, share this video with your friends and family, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and until next time, Shanti.